Okay, on this computer. Recording, it says. Okay. So we're just gonna hop into it. I know it's late. I'm like a grandma and staying up till 9 o'clock. Sometimes it's hard for me, but then like on nights where Sean's gone, it's like I'm up till like midnight. I don't even know what happens. But I wanted to kind of touch on I don't think Karen, Jenna, Jessica, I don't think you guys were around whenever we had this big discussion in our group, our big Wednesday chats about seasons in your business. So I thought it might be a good time to touch on it because I just feel like a little bit of hesitation in the Better Together chat. I feel like there are multiple people, not just you guys, but like leadership too, that feel kind of stuck and just know that these moments come and they're not going to stick with you forever. So I wanted to touch on seasons in your business and some good takeaways that I took from a podcast that I've been listening to. Seasons, you're going to hear this a lot. You have seasons in your business, right? And you're going to hear us talk about winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay. I don't want you to like completely correlate it with the actual seasons of the year, and just make sure that whenever you're thinking about seasons in your business that you realize that you are also going to have seasons in your life. There are going to be hard times in your life where you're arguing with your spouse, where you whatever, like I just lost my daycare this week and I have to figure it out. Like there's going to be hard seasons where you lose family members, you lose a pet, whatever. There's going to be things that happen, and you can't let your seasons in your life affect your seasons in your business, if that makes sense. Like just because you might be going through winter in your life, it doesn't mean that you have winter in your business, but it will if you let it mesh together. And so I wanted to kind of start with winter because winter is the hardest season, right? It's my least favorite. I'm just going to say it. But winter is what we prepare for, okay? Winter is what you think about when you think of winter. You think of decreased activity on social media because maybe people are going to family vacations and family holidays, and maybe there are fewer prospects. And just like this lull time, okay? But right now, there's no way it's winter. It absolutely cannot be winter right now. Like I said, you may be in winter in your life, but you're not in winter right now in your business. And the reason why I say that is because I guarantee you, especially since coronavirus hit, like I can guarantee you one of the most common things that are Googled right now is how to work from home. Do you know how many moms are probably freaking out because they don't know what to do with their children because they have to either homeschool them or do this virtual learning and they're going to work full time? Do you know how many people are like freaking out because they don't know how they're going to do this? And you literally have a vehicle to show them, hey, you can create extra income from your phone from home. There's no way that we are in winter right now. I know that a lot of you guys that are on this Zoom right now, you haven't been in the business very long, but we haven't launched any bonuses this year in 2020. So there's no way we are in winter in our business. I believe we are all in like a spring summer right now. Like this is the time to be planting those seeds and to be really cultivating those relationships with people online, because bonuses are going to hit and you don't want to wait until a bonus hits to start running your business, because you will fall behind. And what you'll realize is that you will miss out on the momentum because you weren't planting your seeds and you weren't taking care of your seeds in the summer and in the spring. So don't turn your thermostat like way down in your business so that you're like messing up with you're messing with your future. If that makes sense, because there have been times where they have launched, and I will always say this to you guys, I had a rough first year in this business. I had no idea what I was doing. That's fine. Like I believe there is a learning curve, especially when you come into this, no network marketing experience before, right? But there was a huge learning curve for me, but I also never stepped on the gas. I never ran my business like a business probably until like November last year. Let's just call a spade and we'll be honest. Like, that's what happened. That was my story. And if I can pour into you and help you not do that, I will 100% do that, because that was not fun. That was not fun to sit there and see all these girls earning paid for vacations, to see all these girls earning auto bonuses, to see everybody winning and everybody rank advancing, and you just sit there and you think that you're doing all the things to run your business. But if you actually put that magnifying glass, which I did to myself, I was like, Amber, like, you're being so selfish right now because you haven't done any of the work. So how can you expect to earn a paid vacation? How can you expect for anybody to come into your inbox wanting to join your business that you are too scared to even talk about? That people don't even know you have a business to join because I was too scared to talk about it. So don't take your foot off the gas right now, because we are not in winter. We are in spring. Maybe you're in a little bit of touch of summer. So spring is like your seeds, right? You're planting your seeds, you're watering your seeds, you're in the summer, you got to pull the nasty weeds out of it. That's your negative mindset that you need to get in check, because if you don't, they're going to overtake your flowers and your flowers are going to get choked out. Maybe that looks like for you right now, maybe that's a Facebook Live, maybe it's an Instagram Live, maybe it's doing things that you've never done before. I know Karen, she doesn't know much about Instagram. She's like, that's not my platform. But maybe it's learning new things, maybe it's stepping into new things. I just learned how to do reels the other day. I was like, what is this? Because I hate TikTok, but I do feel like maybe video content is like super helpful right now because it helps people connect with you. And when people can see your quirky and your fun side, they're going to love you so much more. Like, you gotta get out of your head a little bit. But maybe it's posting, it's keeping up with your stories, maybe it's opportunity stories that you've never thrown together because you didn't know how to do it. But if you actually take that time, they're a little time consuming to actually put them together, but once you get the hang of it, you'll realize that you can use that one again like 2 weeks from now. Maybe you use it again and you rotate through like 4 or 5 different opportunity stories, especially like I said on that one training, especially on a day where you have to work the next day. Super helpful if you can throw up an opportunity story the night before. So that gives your audience something to look at besides blank spaces the next day. So we talked about how bonuses have not dropped yet. Like, I'm super excited for that, but you just wait, because this company, when they do something big, they don't go small. And you have to remember that because of coronavirus, like, we didn't have vacations. We had like one in February, I think, Mexico. And then we typically have 3 a year. So we don't have those two. So I would venture to say that whatever bonuses we have coming out later this year, they're going to be epic. They were epic last year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But I like how Jordan says, show the F up. I wrote that down. Maybe it looks like a Facebook Live. Maybe it looks like an Instagram Live. Post stories, show the F up. She also says, eat the frog. If you don't know what eat the frog is, it's that one thing that like you're so scared to do. For me, it's live video. I can sit there and like craft a post and like stay behind my phone the whole time and not put my face on social media. But like when it comes to Facebook Live or videos, it makes me a little like sweaty. And Karen's like a pro at it. Okay, Jenna, you're like a pro at it. Jessica, she was on here, she's gone now. She's like a pro at it too. Y'all are so much more pro than I am, but anyways, we're not going to get into that. Maybe it's doing things that make you uncomfortable. Making sure that your seeds don't die, that is your engagement with your followers. Like I said on that little short training I did the other day, whenever I had day to myself, I said, make sure that your door swings both ways, that you are being a friend to have a friend. So the people that are engaging on your content and they're liking your posts and they're commenting on your stuff, make sure that you show them some love back, because you never know, even if it's somebody who seems super happy, super successful in their business, even if they're in a different network marketing company, you never know what somebody else is going through. And you never know if somebody's truly unhappy. Always be nice when somebody sends you a cold message and say, girl, I just love the way I run my business. But if you're truly happy, I wish you the best of luck. But my inbox is always open for you. Just something simple. don't ever burn the bridge. You always want to make sure that you're creating that bridge from what you have to offer to everybody else. Negative mindset, we talked about that a little bit. I'm going to make this super quick tonight, but fall. Let's talk about fall. Fall's my favorite. What's your favorite season? Mine's fall. I don't know if I'm just like biased because I have an October birthday. Maybe I am. Fall's my favorite, but fall, what do we think of when we're in the fall? We think of harvest, right? You think of all the crops that were planted, but the harvest only comes when you've actually planted those seeds in the spring. Not when you've taken a week off social media in the spring, not when you've decided not to show up, not when you've like said, sorry guys, I've been MIA on your social media. That is not when you have a harvest in the fall. I guarantee you, if you ask a farmer in the spring, like if they want to go do A, B, or C, they're gonna be like, no, like I have things to do. Like I have to plant my crop because otherwise I won't have a crop in the fall. But the only time that you're going to have that harvest in the fall is if you actually plant and you take care of those seeds in the spring and in the summer. And here's the thing about fall. Winter is going to hit a lot less hard when you actually have a harvest because you actually sowed the seeds, because you actually put in the work, because you actually showed up every single day, no matter what that looks like. There are days when you're not going to want to show up on social media. There are going to be days when you have no idea what kind of value you can bring to social media. That was me yesterday. I was like, I don't even want to do this. Like my 4-year-old told me, this is not the kind of mommy I wanted. And that broke me at 7:30 in the morning. And I was just like, shoot, like I just did like 100 nice things for you before 8 a.m. and here you go breaking my heart. Obviously she doesn't know what she's saying, but like there are going to be days where you're in a funk. There are going to be days when you don't know what to put on your social media, and it's okay to just be you and to share what you're going through, and to just like, maybe it is just like a post like I did yesterday, like you're actually being a good mom, like you actually are a good mom. Just give another girl some encouragement. It doesn't have to always be about the business and about the products that is working your business. It can simply just be showing up on social media. Like M right now, she's like redoing her living room. Okay, she's getting a lot of engagement from redoing her living room. It has nothing to do with the business or the products, but she works that in. So winter won't be so hard. Winter's not going to be so hard if you actually have a harvest. And I've been when I didn't have a harvest, and it hurts. And you start to sit in this place where you see all these other girls rank advancing, and you sit in a place of resentment, and you sit in a place of feeling like you're not worth it, and you sit in a place of feeling like, well, what do they have that I don't have? And your ego gets in the way. And what happens when you get into that place is that scarcity mindset, that place is going to keep you from taking the action that you need in the first place, which is going to keep you from getting the results that you want. And I don't remember exactly who said it. I think I heard it from Bob Heilig, which is this Your Virtual Upline podcast I listen to all the time. He's incredible. If you've never listened to him, it's called Your Virtual Upline. He talks about, and I don't remember if he's like the originator of it, but he talks about the thermostat. You've heard me talk about the thermostat before, where it's not your circumstances that are creating your results that are in front of you right now. Wait, did I say that wrong? It's not your external circumstances, it's your thermostat that you're setting. So it's not because you're fighting with your husband that you haven't enrolled a promoter. It's the actions that you didn't take because you've been fighting with your husband, because you've been in a bad mindset, because it literally just like is weighing down on you so much that you're not taking action, and so you're not getting results. And most of the time when you feel stuck, it's because you're not growing anymore. And it's because you're not taking action. And most of the time that is because of fear. And I feel like we let fear get in the way a lot. We have the fear, like we compare ourselves to others. I compare myself to people on this team all the time. It's really hard not to do. It's really hard not to sit there and be like, how come they are further along than me? It's really hard because when you get into that comparison place and you get into this fear mode, you start having a low sense of self-worth. And when you don't feel like you're worth it, why would you take the action and why would you have the result? Then you're just going to keep cycling in this negative path of destruction. We have fear of rejection. Why are we so worried that people are going to tell you no? Why are we so worried that somebody's not going to want to buy our product? I was really worried about that in the beginning. I was like, oh my God, what if they say no? But like, listen, if they say no, they just made that decision for you. That's one less person that you have to try to figure out if they are your people or not. They're not your people, move on. They literally just made it so easy for you. So when you start to look at rejection that way, as thank you, sis, for just weeding out one less person for me to have to do the work, when you can start looking at it that way, and when somebody gives you feedback on something, to not look at it as you just tore me down, but like, okay, how can I grow from this? What did I learn from this? When you can start looking at it that way, you're going to grow so much. One fear that I had in the beginning was the fear of saturation. I felt like everybody was doing network marketing. I felt like, what do I have to offer? Like, what's going to make me any different? What do I have to offer that like these 9,000 million people aren't already offering? Why would anybody listen to me? This has a lot to do with that imposter syndrome. If you've never heard about imposter syndrome, you need to look it up, because it's literally the thought of like, why would somebody buy from me, or why would somebody join my business? Like, why me? It's this low self-worth, right? And I had the fear of saturation in the beginning, because I was just like, network marketing has been around forever. Like, there's so many different companies. Why would this be any different? Why would I be any different? And I'm going to bring an example that I heard today on a podcast that kind of blew my mind. Have you ever heard of Amway? Drop in the comments if you've ever. Jenna says no. Okay. Amway is a company. I've only briefly heard of it. My biological father used to like tinker in it a little bit. Way back. I was probably 11 or so. Long time, many moon ago. Okay, but Amway is a network marketing company. It was like health and wellness. It's still around. Okay. Amway did $8.4 billion in sales for the year of 2019. A company you've never even heard about. So how could this industry be saturated if you have a company that's just done $8.4 billion in sales that you've never even heard about? Do you know how many people that I talk to who are like, Lavelle? I've never heard of Lavelle, because we've been around for like, what, 8 years? People still haven't heard about Thrive. People still haven't heard about Lavelle. So don't sit there and think that this opportunity, that this industry is already oversaturated. Your story is different, and your story needs to be told. Nobody can tell it like you can. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But one thing that I heard on this podcast was there was a guy in Amway. Here. Oh, that's like playing a video game. It's like pew pew, mute you. Hold on. Okay, so I heard, do you know what I mean? It's like click. Okay, sorry, I digress. I'm a little dumb sometimes, but there is this guy. His name was Dexter Yeager. He has passed away, but he was the #1 income earner in Amway, and he, to this day, makes $1 million a month, and he's dead. His family, his legacy, gets $1 million a month off of a business that he created 60 years ago. A company that you've never even heard of. But what I'm saying is, this is not saturated, and you have to like look a little bit beyond yourself for a second. And one of the things I love about your virtual upline is he teaches this legacy leadership academy. And one of the things he stresses so much is, what legacy are you leaving behind? You are not just a girl who's here on social media to sell a vitamin. You have to dig a little deeper, and you have to let your audience in on that. What is the legacy that you're leaving behind right now? And it might change. Right now, I'm the girl who's showing up to try to share with the next girl that it's okay to break the chains of the time clock, that it's okay that you went to college and you went into debt and your job didn't fulfill you. It's okay to do something different, and that you can do hard things. But there are a lot of girls on this team that come from a lot heavier struggles than me, but they're too scared to talk about it. Maybe your struggle, maybe your pain needs to be your purpose. Maybe you're coming out of addiction and you need to teach the next girl that she's worth it and how you got out of the vicious cycle. Maybe you came from an abusive relationship and you need to teach the next girl her own self-worth and how to love herself and how to stand back up. Maybe, I don't know, maybe self-love and self-worth is a big thing for me, but maybe you lost a child and you're sent here to teach somebody how to get through that. Maybe you've been through hard things that you can teach somebody how to do too. And so really dig a little bit deeper and bring your audience along that journey with you. And I promise that it will go so far. Start thinking about the legacy that you're leaving behind. How do you want to be remembered? How are people going to remember you? You're not just like a Thrive girl, okay? But just to kind of end this out tonight, stop beating yourself up over what you're not doing, because when you beat yourself up over that, oh my God, I didn't get on my stories today, or oh my gosh, I didn't enroll anybody, or oh my gosh, like you're literally beating yourself up over what you're not doing, and it's causing you to not take that next step, which is causing you to not have the next result. Okay, which is causing you to completely pump the brakes on any momentum that you had going. It's causing those negative thoughts, which is causing no action. And everything that we do in life, I heard this on a podcast too, everything that we do in life is to either avoid pain or to seek pleasure. But maybe you're stuck in associating pain with the everyday tasks of running your business and taking action versus the pleasure of what is coming, versus faith it till you make it. Okay, I do not believe in fake it till you make it, but you have to believe that you are capable of getting there in the first place. Because if you don't believe that you can get there, your mind is going to keep you from taking action. And when you don't take action, you don't get results. It's all a vicious cycle. Yes. Hold on, let me unmute you. Did it go? There you go.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
We're showing up every day. We're writing our posts. We're doing our stories. We're answering messages if we get them. How do we step on the gas without cold messaging, without going door to door, without? Because Billy, I want to put my business cards in people's mailboxes, but I think that's a federal offense. So I'm just,
I
how
don't think
do
it
we step
is.
on
Is
the
it?
gas? Huh?
I don't think it is it?
Messing with the mailbox is a federal offense, so I ain't taking that chance.
So
But
I used to make homemade business cards. This is embarrassing, but I used to make like homemade like Microsoft Word. I would make, and I would put my I didn't know that we had Lavelle business cards. Let me just say that. I didn't know that we had Lavelle business cards, but I would make my own and I would take it to the gym and I would like hide it in every single locker. So yes, there are ways that you can still get your name out there. But what I would say is increase your engagement. Can you hear me? Increase your engagement with interacting with other people's stories, interacting with other people's posts. Maybe take a look and actually write down like how how many minutes are you spending on it each day, and can you double it or can you increase it? Because there are times when I do my engagement in the morning before my kids wake up, and then maybe I've gone to work all day, and then in the evening I'm just like, oh my God, like it's just a lot, right? But if I actually took the time and did engagement again in the evening, that's a whole different ball field of people that are on social media than they were in the morning. So see what you can do to increase your engagement would be my number one suggestion. And I think you're already doing it, but I would also say adding to your network. But I think you put that in your IPAs every day, so I'm sure you're good. But please know, this is not, and I'm not saying this because I think that you think this way, but a lot of people get this mindset that it's a microwave business, that they will see results right away. And I don't want you guys to get like the misconception of when you see people rank advancing and when you see these top leaders, like I hope you understand that they went through winter too. They went through hard times and they persevered. If you go through some of these top leaders and you actually look at their social media and you look at all the live videos that they've done and you look and you see how long they've been here in the game and how long they never came off the gas for, you would be impressed. So always stay consistent, because I feel like when you are not consistent, it's the number one like train wreck. It's the number one thing to make that negative mindset start to sit in. I'm guilty of it sometimes too, but I'm just saying from experience, when you are not consistent in the things that you need to do every single day, it gets really hard to keep doing the things every single day. Because once you take your foot off the gas, it's almost like the daggone weed eater. I was weed eating today. And once you crank that sucker and then you need to go change your line and you turn off the weed eater, you know how hard it is to crank that sucker again because I turned it off. I feel like it's the same thing, right? With consistency and showing up. Don't turn off the weed eater. No, I'm just kidding. Don't change the line with the weed eater on, but consistency and perseverance and just sharing your story, sharing what this business is going to do for you. I feel like in the beginning, for me, I struggled immensely with talking about the business. I could get a couple customers, no big deal. I honestly didn't have big goals. I had no big goals whenever I joined this business. I was like, cool, maybe I can earn my stuff for free. Maybe I can earn a couple extra bucks. Like, I was not that hungry, which is part of my problem, which is why I sat stagnant for an entire year in my business. And it wasn't until I realized, holy crap, Amber, your debt that you're paying every single month exceeds your mortgage payment. Like, this is not real life. Like, this is not normal. Hashtag this is not normal. And I struggled with talking about the business because of that imposter syndrome, because I was worried that because I had not hit a rank yet, because I did not have an auto bonus to show for it, because I did not have whatever X, Y, or Z, I was like, why? Why would anybody listen to me? Why would anybody, like, how am I ever going to do an opportunity video when I don't even know what to talk about? And I remember I messaged Em and I was like asking her all these like questions. I was like, what's our retention rate? What's our percentage for this? I was like, all these numbers. She was like, Amber, just show up and be you and like talk about where this business is taking you. Like, you're thinking about it way too much. And I was just like, so you don't know like the retention rate, like the percentage? I was just like, I couldn't, like, I wanted some numbers, right? I felt like I had to explain myself. Like, I felt like I had to show some evidence of something working, but you don't. All you have to do is literally speak life into that girl that's on the other side of the screen, because she's scared of shit too. Okay. But if you are bold enough to show up and say, listen, like, I took a chance on me because I'm tired of this, and this, and this is where this business is going to take me. This is what's going to break my chains of the time clock. This is what's going to provide more memories in the making for my family. This is what's going to let me send my kids to college without coming out of college in debt like I was. This is what's going to keep me from ever having to put my mother in a nursing home, because I'm going to set myself up financially in the future, and I'm not going to be a slave to the time clock, and I can actually be there for my family when they need me. Like, paint that picture. So I feel like it all comes back to vision. If you don't have that clear vision of where you're going, you're never going to know how to get there. And I'll say 1,000 times, it's step by step by step. But like some people just get blindsided, and they're like, well, I can't see the big picture. And so therefore they don't even take that first step. So really, really think about it. What is it that you want? Like, you know, that meme that's like, it's like from The Notebook, and he's like, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? He's like, what do you want? What do you want? Okay, think about that meme. I want you to think about that meme all the time now. And I want you to think, what do you want? I'm Ryan Gosling right now. What do you want from this business? If you can't answer that, we got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, because you can't see the bigger vision, because you don't feel worthy of it. So I want you to make that vision board if you don't have one. I want it to be more than just a piece of paper. I want it to be something that you wake up and you look at every single day. I want you to associate, Katie drilled this into my brain, I want you to associate the feelings that come behind it. What is that feeling of that dream house that you're going to build one day? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What do the floors feel like on your feet? Can you hear your kids giggling up in the playroom and running down to the kitchen? Can you smell the cinnamon rolls that are in the kitchen when you have sleepovers, when all your kids sleep over in that house and it's like a safe haven? What does the backyard look like? Where is it going to be? Like, what are the feelings that are associated with it? What are the feelings? Like, one thing for me is I want to be able to take my family on a beach vacation every year. I want to be able to pay for it for my in-laws and for my mother. I want to be like, I got this, because I want that family togetherness. I don't really have that right now. They can't afford it. My mom can't afford it. I can't afford it right now. But that's my vision. More memories in the making for my family. What does that look like for you? Can you feel the sand between your toes? Can you feel what it's going to feel like when you rip that badge off and you're like, peace, I'm not your slave anymore? What's that going to feel like? What's that going to feel like when you rip that badge off? I want you to feel it. The only way you're going to feel it is if you write it down and you think about it and you pray on it. I'm going to tell you one thing I did. I have not told a lot of people this, but when I went 4K, I went from a mindset of like, I don't know if it's going to happen, to like overnight, I was like, Amber, you got to get your shit together, because like, this is the last month that's available for you. And like, you have to make it happen. There are bonuses here, and you've sat here for, it was August, September, October, November was the last month to earn it. And I earned it on November 30th of last year. I've been sitting at 4K since then. Do I want to keep sitting at 4K? No, I don't. But you have to step into that next level leadership. You have to step into that next person that shows up. Like, how is that 12K leader going to show up? How is that 4K leader going to show up? What does that look like for you? And for me, like, I had to get really honest with myself and say, Amber, you're not treating this like a business, number one. Number two, like, you have to actually believe that it's possible. And I wrote myself a $4,000 check, because it was a rank advancement bonus. Whatever rank you hit, you got a bonus of that amount. How cool would that be if they bring that back this year? Can you imagine what that would do for your family? I wrote myself a $4,000 check. Did I have $4,000 in my bank account? Hell no. I wrote myself a $4,000 check, and I said, what is this money going to feel like? I said, this money is going to feel like a breath of fresh air, because I'm finally going to be able to get a grip on my student loans. I'm finally going to get a grip on my student loans that have been drowning me for 10 years. My student loans have been like between $500 and $600 a month for 10 years. I also have 2 children in daycare. That's painful. Let your pain be your purpose. My purpose for that $4,000 was to let my family breathe a little bit. And every little puzzle piece that you see me color in, that's a breath of fresh air for my family. And I present that to my social media. I'm like, guys, I'm not there yet, but this is where I'm going. You coming with me or not? Because like I'm going. So paint that vision for her. Let her know where you're going and let her know where she's capable of going with you. I'm just going to end it with that. But I hope you guys got something out of this tonight. I love y'all. And I'll talk to you later.